Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on-demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
Get connected, Fitchburg. We're launching Fitchburg Connect, the city's new monthly e-newsletter that keeps you informed about all the events, services, and updates that matter to you. Get it in your inbox once a month. Sign up today to get Fitchburg Connect.
I call to order the annual Board of Review meeting for the City of Fitchburg on May 14th, 2026 at City Hall in the Francis Huntley Cooper Council Chambers. The time is 8:35 a.m. on Thursday, May 14th. Welcome everyone and thank you again for another season of this. I will call the meeting to order and I'll refer to our esteemed clerk, Tracy Oldenburg, who staffs this committee for roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Chairman Sean Path.
Present.
Richard Bloomquist is absent. Elton Krim Jr.
Here.
Carol Poole. Here. Sharif Atoon is absent. Amanda Canessa.
Present.
Andrew Slager.
Here.
Mark Fairchild.
Present.
You do have a quorum.
And thank you. And I want to thank the members that are here today, and of course the staff, we'll talk to them, but to sign up for public service is very important, especially in these times that we live in. And your commitment to this city and to be here to this committee is very much appreciated. And I know the mayor, I thank her for her reappointment to this committee. And I'm honored to serve as your chair again. And with that, Andrew, I'm going to ask for maybe an approval of our minutes from our last meeting, August 28th of 2025, if you wouldn't mind making a motion.
I move approval of the meeting minutes from August 28th, 2025.
And name.
Second by Poole. Sorry.
Sleeger, motion, Poole, second. Okay, been a while since we've gone through this stuff. Any questions on the minutes? Tracy and her team always do a good job of getting it accurately reflected what we've done. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The minutes from April 28th, 2025 are approved. August 28th, 2025. Item number 4, confirmation of appropriate Board of Review and open meetings notice. Madam Clerk, I'll turn over to you on that.
Thank you, Chair. The meeting was properly noticed in the paper on April 10th and on the board located at the entrance of City Hall and also on the city's website.
And that go ahead, that's standard procedure for all city meetings, correct?
And we also post on the front doors to City Hall as well.
Okay, so this meeting has been appropriately noticed to the public. Okay, at this time, we'll move to item number 5. Select a Board of Review Vice Chairperson. Madam Clerk, who is the current Vice Chair, or was last session, if you will?
Last year, Andrew Slager served as Vice Chair.
So we have to make a formal act to put a new person in place. Are there any nominations for Vice Chair?
To nominate Andrew Slager as Vice Chair of the 2026 Board of Review.
Is there a second to that?
Second by Poole.
Second by Krim?
Yep.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for Vice Chair of this committee? Are there any other nominations for Vice Chair of this committee? With that, I'll close the nominations. We have a motion by Fairchild, a second by Krim. Brief discussion. Andrew, thank you for your leadership. I hope we don't have to do a lot of meetings this summer, but if we do, I know you fit in very well as chair, and thank you for your willingness to serve. I assume you want to do it again, right?
That is correct.
Okay, good. I don't want to get ahead of you. All right, heat of agreement here. All those in favor of confirming that Andrew Sleeger will serve as Vice Chair of the City's Board of Review signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? And the ayes have it. Andrew, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Verify at least one member of this committee has met the annual mandatory training requirements. Tracy, what does that mean and why does that need to occur?
So per state statutes, one board member needs to take the training prior to Board of Review every year.
Okay. So that means we're all in a 7-year rotation here if we want to stay on this. And what year, this year, who took that training?
So this year, we actually had 2 members take the training.
Great.
We had Mark Fairchild and we had Andrew Seiger take the training. They took the training on April 30th, and they had an in-person training.
Any comments, gentlemen, from the training at all? It was worth your time, and thank you for meeting that statutory requirement. Okay, so we've checked that box.
I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
It's just, they seem to clarify the rules that we had followed last year, either finding with the assessor or the landowner, the property owner. But this year, they seem to really put through that they want us to do roll call votes on everything. Just so
I think that's fair.
Clear for the circuit court if it does go to court after our review. So.
I would agree with that. I think it's good for us to go on the record. And it isn't hard, obviously, for housekeeping for you at all, Tracy, so thank you. But I do agree with that. I've always wondered that. So thank you for getting that out of that training, because it is important. I mean, because you go back and look at who voted for this. So it's unanimous, you know. Just now we know. So when we all get deposed, we know why we're getting deposed. But anyway, okay. Anything else with that, Tracy? You don't need a motion on that. This just goes in the record that we met the requirement, correct? That's correct. Okay, fantastic. All right, this is where we get a little work ahead of us here. Item number 7 is the filing and summary of annual assessment report by assessor's office. Tracy, what does that mean?
I'll defer to Chris, the city assessor, on that.
Excellent, Chris. Welcome back. You decided to hang around for us one more year.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to the group, if you don't mind.
Yeah, thanks, members of the board. Good morning. So a couple years ago, I think it was back in 2023, the annual assessment report, might have been earlier than that, was no longer required to be filed with the Department of Revenue. Nevertheless, it's something that we still do produce. Generally, we will, I have a digital copy of it, and then we provide the hard copy once we're all done. That's the assessment roll. We have the annual assessment report is really a measure of kind of all the work we did in this specific year. Gets into the number of inspections we did, the types of changes that were made, really a comprehensive report of the work we do each year. And like I mentioned, typically I'll create that preliminary report prior to board of review, and then once we're done, pass it along to the mayor. So it's no longer required to be filed with the Department of Revenue, but it is a useful report that kind of details all the work we do and is certainly publicly available should anybody wish to.
And Chris, that is that on our website, or how would the public find that?
We don't post it on our website. They can just contact me. I provide a copy to the mayor.
So if somebody requests, we don't have to charge them a page to make photocopies for open records?
Right, yeah. Typically, like I said, we've got digital copies.
Okay,
back to
so it's very accessible to city residents here or somebody from the outside that's looking at property here in the city that doesn't live here.
Yep.
Okay, that is officially filed in summary. Thank you for that. All right, Chris, item number 8, receipt of the assessment roll by the clerk from the assessor. If you walk us through.
Yeah, sure. The assessment roll is the document sitting before you there of I think it's 2,100 pages of each parcel in the city and its corresponding lot size, value, and classification. So whether it's residential, commercial, agricultural, manufacturing, it's got every property in there in the city. And that's, yesterday I signed the affidavit confirming that is the most accurate version of the assessment roll we've got right now.
And you've officially presented that to the city clerk?
Correct.
Hi, Chris, and nobody will be surprised by this. I'm a student of comparative governments, and yesterday I watched the British Parliament hand the King's speech to him officially, so I'm not saying I'm the king, but I feel like we've got this formal ceremony that's occurred.
It's the same caliber of work.
We're not asking you to dress up in 18th century garb, but Tracy, all of that has met your standards as the official clerk of the city, correct?
That is correct. Chris
Excellent.
did sign the assessor affidavit yesterday.
Excellent. I forgot to get Mr. Bloomquist an alarm clock for Christmas this year. And welcome, sir. How are you? Thank you, Richard, for attending. Okay, item number 8. Excuse me, number 9. Receive assessment roll and sworn statements from the clerk. Tracy.
Yeah, we just recently covered that. Chris did sign the assessor's affidavit yesterday. I did witness that. I signed it as well. If you'd like to see a copy of that, I do have one available. It's not in your packets today, but I do have a copy available.
And that is, of course, available to the public as well.
Correct.
Okay. Let the record state Mr. Richard Bloomquist is present. Thank you, sir, for coming. Item number 10, a little bit more process here. Review assessment roll and perform statutory duties. I guess you can see in front of you, the assessment roll is here. I can hold it up for the public just so they see that. This is, as the city assessor had said, there's 2 documents of this size, about 5 inches thick, front and back, I'm assuming, right? Mm-hmm. Of all 2 binders like this, of the nearly how many properties in the cities?
Just under 10,500 total parcels.
And that's broken down single family, multifamily, commercial?
All of it, yep. Exempt, it's all in there, everyone.
Okay, okay. Okay, anything else under item 10A? Any questions for this on how this process works? You, by all means, as committee members, can look through this. Staff can help you, point you in the right direction. All this stuff is available to the public as well. Chris, any correction, description, or calculation of errors?
Nope, not this year.
Item number C, were there any properties that were admitted that we need to add as a committee?
No, there were none.
And are there any elimination that we need to take care of regarding double assessed property?
No.
How often would that occur, not under your watch, but just I'm curious? Hopefully not ever, right? But
not often. There's, especially for like double assessed property, there's generally pretty good checks and balances in place. One of the things that we do each year is we send our assessment roll to the county. They handle the parcel divisions and splits and combinations and all that. So there's a good back and forth between us and the county to make sure that we've got every correct parcel in there, and then we also do a significant amount of QC after we're kind of wrapping things up to make sure that we're solid. So it doesn't happen often. It does in some cases. It hasn't happened here, at least in the last several years. I don't know if it happened under Amy, not that I recall.
Not to belabor the point, but let's just say there is a double assessed property. Who usually catches that?
It would generally be our office more often than not, or the property owner. It's kind of one or the other. It's, there's, like I said, there's 10,000 plus parcels. The property owner is likely to be the first one to see it. And usually that would get solved during open book often enough where they'd say, well, this is up quite a bit from last year. It seems high, and then we'd.
So if there's a Robert and Jane Smith on 101 Main Street, Fitchburg, and you have that in a file, but there's a Bob and Jane Smith, or there's a Rob and Jane Smith, all at 101 Main Street, and does that get householded, or how does that get cleaned up?
I think I see what you're saying. So overall, the ownership wouldn't really cause a flag for us. We have a lot of issues where it might be
Richard is a dick, or
sure, something like that. Usually those are pretty short up because we get most of our ownership information from the county, who the Register of Deeds handles it. But where you might often find double assessments might be, tough to say here, but if you had, a parcel existing twice, for example, that might be one. But there's a lot of flags in our system that would prevent that. And similarly at the county level, we're getting our parcels often from them. And so, we'd find duplicate parcels pretty easily.
One more just logistical question, just because I'm curious and this happens to me. What if you, quote unquote, fat finger something in the keyboard and you put in an extra letter into a street address or something, and can that get cleaned up pretty easily as well?
Yes. It can.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
As you can tell, I'm a Gen X guy doing technology. Not bad, but not great at it. Okay, any questions? Item 10. Item 11, discuss any action, certify all corrections or error under state law. Madam Clerk, there action needed on that since there's nothing that he'd brought forward, or? So no
action needed on that.
Item 12, discuss action, verify with the assessor that open book changes are included in the assessment roll. Chris, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so open book notices were put in the mail timely on, I believe they were sent out on April 16th. Open book was held from April 27th through the 29th. We had, I believe it was 79.
What were those dates again?
April 27th through April 29th. Following open book, the next day, on April 30th, we mailed out the determination letters for folks who came in, notifying them either A, if their assessment changed, or B, if it did not.
You said you had 70 folks?
79 total contacts. So that could include somebody just calling and saying, hey, you know, they might not necessarily be appealing their assessment, just looking for information. So a couple years ago, we found out there's not a good way of tracking all the calls that we get, which I think is an important figure to determine how many people actually call us, whether that be for an actual kind of disagreement or just general for information purposes. So we tracked every, you know, kind of phone call we had. Of those, 70, I think it was 79, I believe it was around 20 of them changed in value. So most of them did not, and all of those would have been for some material data.
And I'm
correction.
assuming your team of 4, I believe I was in your team, right? You and 3 others in your department?
Me and 4 others.
So
5
you
of
were
us.
all hands on deck during that time frame to handle
Yes,
those.
it was certainly less chaotic and busy than it was during last year, which was a revaluation year. Just for context, we did what's called a maintenance year this year, so we only sent out notices to properties that changed value, which I guess is the same as a revaluation year, but we didn't make any market changes. So last year, you all probably got an assessment notice, even if you didn't do anything to your home. This year, we really just looked at properties that had permits, sales, and we had to make physical data changes on generally. So there are no market adjustments for, we didn't look at the sales in 2025 and 2026. As I mentioned last year, if you'll recall, we're moving to an every other year revaluation schedule. So this year, 2026 is a maintenance year, meaning we probably won't, as you see, we only have really a couple appeals this year. Next year will be another one of those revaluation years where we send out notices to pretty much everybody. This year, I believe we sent out just north of 1,600 notices versus
And
last
that
year.
practice of every other year is common with cities of our size?
Yeah, it varies, I think, to some degree. Madison, for example, does them annually, but most of the other cities of our size tend to do them. Sun Prairie, as an example, seem to do them every 4 years. Janesville, where I worked prior to here, does them every 4 years. Trying to think of what else. It just kind of varies depending on what the community
I also
wants.
think it's important, I know, Trace, you can jump in here, but city clerk's got to run a lot of big elections out here, and to have it not in a maintenance year and an even numbered year also manages the workload and expectations with the city clerk team. That's correct, right?
Right.
These elections are 4 a year. Any questions for Chris on the item number 12, I think we're on? Or we were 11, I can't remember. 12, I think we're 11. 12, yep.
12,
Any
yeah.
questions for Chris? Okay, item 13. Tracy, I'm gonna go to you here, kind of the mechanics of this. Consideration of request for waiver of the 48-hour notice of intent to file objection where there is good cause. Do you wanna walk through what that means?
Thank you, Chair. Yes. So this year, being that it's a maintenance year, we did not have anybody file to request a waiver of the 48 hours. I'll go over briefly what is in your packet materials today. The top page is a spreadsheet that shows the commercial properties that are objecting this year, and then we have one confirmed residential property that's objecting this year. On your list, we also have another residential property that has given 48-hour notice of intent to file. This homeowner does have the first 2 hours of this meeting to actually file their paperwork with the office. And then as we continue on through your packet, you'll see that each objection form is in your materials. There should be a yellow piece of paper that is splitting up each of the objection forms so that you can go through those and review them.
Yep. Okay, so you see what's in front of you. Tracy did a nice job on the emails to the committee as well. Obviously, this is the workload that's in front of us. Tracy, am I safe to say that which one of these residential, number 1 or 2, are we in this 2-hour window right now this morning?
So that would be number one
Number
on your
one.
form.
Waiting to, then that action, if they were to come before 10:36 a.m., would be to file the paperwork.
Correct.
That's the mechanics of that, kind of old school, but that's how it works. And those folks have known that that 2-hour window starts the second we bang the gavel here.
That is correct.
Just before we get into the meat and potatoes of the properties here, commercial 1 through 8, what is the status of where these are located in the process? Is this the first time the city's going to be seeing these?
No, those are properties that have been in circuit court, and they are still in circuit court. So they're just following up with the objection forms for this year.
Okay. Chris, do you have any comments on these 10 properties in front of us?
Generally, no. I would just, the commercial ones, they may seem familiar to you. I would, I guess, point to, let's see here, on the commercial side, 2, 3, 4.
Chris, hold your thoughts 1 second. Let's just, in case we're at the, number 13 is the 48-hour notice. Let me just get to number 14, Chris, then I want you to
sure.
talk on 15.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, sorry, guys. Just jumping ahead a little bit. I just want to make sure I do the mechanics right. Okay, number 13, we've met the 48-hour notice of the 2-hour window, right, Tracy? Or whatever that is?
That's correct.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
That'll
No-
be at 10:30 today.
Number 14, consideration request to testify telephone or sworn written statement. Where are we at on that? Anything?
So we do have one request in your packet materials, and that's for the first residential property. They have appraisals as part of their objection
Okay.
packet. And to allow the appraiser to appear to testify, we thought it best that he fill out either a telephone form for the appraiser. The property owner will be here in person
When you say will be here at a future date?
when we schedule a future date.
So what we're
Correct.
doing now is just mechanically either allowing that to happen or not?
Correct.
Okay.
And, the board in the past has allowed people to appear via Zoom. So rather than the telephone,
Got it.
we could go ahead and just let the appraiser appear via Zoom as well. But having that file on record kind of helps.
Okay. Okay, so the mechanics of this, Tracy, the action item that is needed is just a consent from us that has been filled out correctly based on your professional recommendation, or do you need us to officially act on item number 14?
I think we'll act on that after you go through the review of the
Got
forms.
it. Okay, all right. So then now can I kind of just put 14, as they say, in the parking lot and go to number 15?
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Okay, all right, got my corporate speak out of me today. Okay, all right, now, guys, follow where we're at here, up here. We're on number 15. We're starting to tackle into the packet here. I think our goals here, and this is where I want to be a good chair, because the previous chair was just the master of going through these, Mr. Couillard. So I'm going to defer to you guys as well. We are looking for accuracy of parcel numbers, all information. Did they fill out the forms correctly? A little bit of just kind of really good proofreading and stuff that we're doing here, and then we'll have interaction with the city assessor to get his input as well. Does that make sense to you guys up here, fellow committee members? Okay, so the first property we're going to talk on the record, this is where I always love this stuff, is property number 1, 5848 Park Hill Circle, 45, is that correct? No, that is, I don't know if I have that one in front of me. The first one I have here is Pawnee Pass.
Yeah, the 5848 Park Hill Circle is the one where they gave the 48-hour notice of intent to file, but they have not yet filed their form. They have until, whatever time, 10:30 something.
So if they come in by 10:30, they would be bringing in this type of information?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, great.
And just to clarify, Chair, the list in front of you is not in the same order as your packet materials.
Okay, that's what
If
threw
you'd
me.
like me to read the property and the parcel number, I can certainly do that for you.
Yes, please. Let's start, Tracy, with 4525 Pawnee Pass, please.
First property in your packet is 4525 Pawnee Pass, and that's parcel number 0609-051-26438, and this is a residential property. Total assessment is $5,533 100.
And Chris, help me here, but mechanically, what are we looking for in this document again?
Yeah, so on these objection forms, essentially what we're reviewing is completeness and accuracy. So as an example, there's, you can see there's a number of boxes that need to be filled out. Some of this information you may not be privy to. So for what it's worth, I've reviewed these on my end just to, make sure at least everything jives, and I don't have any issues with any of them. But the things you would be looking for that you might be privy to are this, is the assessment notice or is the assessed value on there? Do they have an opinion of assessed value? The reason for their objection, the basis for their assessed value, all of those really need to be filled in. Otherwise, the form is considered incomplete. So, as a case study on this first one here for 4525 Pawnee Pass, you'll see in section 3 it says, reason for objection and basis of estimate. It says, please see attached under the first box. The second box isn't filled in there, but I think it's reasonable to assume in this case, assuming that information is on his, if you flip to the next page, you'll see he's got a write-up there, so, which covers kind of both of those boxes. So I think that's sufficient. Now, if neither of those were filled in and there was no basis, then I would say this is an incomplete form. Obviously, that's not the case here, but just for example's sake.
So I'm going to come back to page 1, or the first thing here, but I want to go to the form that says request to testify by telephone or submit written statement. Tracy, they have the box checked that says testify by telephone. That would be Mr. Corbett, the appraiser, correct?
Correct, and because of the type of form this is, that is the only option, but the board could allow him to appear via Zoom, which would be preferably the method in which he would like to appear.
I would assume a consent of this board. Are we okay with that? You don't need that on the record, right? I mean, you can let him know that.
Correct.
You could send him the Zoom link, which would just...
Correct.
The state is still stuck in 1999 here, but that's good. They should update this for Zoom. So with the testify by telephone by the appraiser, by James Koch, the appraiser of Scott Appraisal, he will appear by Zoom or by phone, or he could appear in person too.
Correct.
Will the property owner appear as well?
The property owner will appear in person. This is strictly for the appraiser.
Got it. Everybody follow what I'm saying? Okay. Back to Chris, my question for you, just mechanically, just curious. The piece on section 4C, list of all offers received, non-arm's length sale family, that has to be filled in, right? If they sold a house on the MLS or whatever, you have to put in that description, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if for example, it sold and that wasn't listed, then I would call this an incomplete form.
Okay. All right, so what you're looking at, fellow committee members, is just mechanics. Is it filled out correctly? The professional judgment of the city assessors, yes, it is. The city clerk has weighed in that the appropriate paperwork has been filled out for the the appraiser to appear phone, Zoom, or potentially in person. The property owner will appear in person to a date to be determined at the end of this meeting. Any questions or concerns about property at 4525 Pawnee Pass? We are making a decision to allow this to move on to the next phase of this committee. I will pause there and just let you guys look through stuff. Tracy, we will see all of these forms again when we obviously deliberate on this property.
That's
so we don't need to go through the appraiser now and stuff.
Nope.
Okay, I'm not seeing any objections to the paperwork as filed with the city on behalf of the parcel 0609051263-8 4525 Pawnee Pass, City of Fitchburg 53711. Chris, you're good with moving on?
Yes.
Do
Okay.
you want to make a motion, Chair, to accept the residential?
Carol, you want to make that motion so you're in the record? You can go through the whole parcel number again if you want.
I recommend that we accept the objection to real property assessment for Michelangelo Iannelli for parcel number 0609-051-26438 by pool.
Fairchild, second.
Second by Fairchild.
And to clarify, this is a motion to accept the objection form for completeness.
Okay, as stated
Thank
by
you.
as cleaned up by the city clerk. Second by Fairchild. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? The ayes have it. This has been completed and filed. Okay, thank you. Try to keep them in good form so Tracy doesn't have to go through them all again and resort them. I'm just teasing. Okay, we are now moving on to, Madam Clerk, I'm going to have you read the next one I have in front of me is Osprey 120 Lakeside. If you want to do the mechanics of this, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Chair. So the next objection form is a commercial property for Osprey Apartments. Address is 5118 Lacey Road, parcel number 0609-114-42822.
Okay, it is now in front of us. Let's go through this. Chris, I know you took some time to go through this. What are we seeing here, and any concerns you may have?
Excuse me. No concerns here with this one. So this is part of Avante Properties. There's, I believe, 5 in your packet regarding this property group. They are Osprey, Vista, Riva West, Turnberry, and Vista Apartments. As Tracy mentioned, these are all wrapped up in a circuit court case right now for tax years 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. And so...
So
yeah,
some of us committee members have already seen these properties.
most likely, yes.
Nearly all of us.
If you've been here for any one of the last 5 years, you've seen them.
So it's not Groundhog's Day.
No.
Do you see any concerns, Chris, with the way that the form was filled out? I mean, this firm knows how to do this stuff, but I just want to make sure you're professional.
Yeah, no, I don't have any issues with it. Like I mentioned, I took a look through these last night one more time just to make sure and kind of verify the information, and all seems good to me.
Okay, Amanda, motion for objection of completeness or whatever that wording is, a number?
If you'd like to do all the commercial ones as one
Yeah.
motion together.
Okay,
that's
so let's
fine.
keep going. Okay, great. Great. Okay, Tracy, we're going to keep going. What's the next one then in our packet is Prima Vista?
Yes, thank you, Chair. It's Prima Vista. Address is 5131 East Sherrill Parkway, parcel number 0609-114-37082.
Okay. this
There
gave
is
me-
the agent authorization form and a request for waiver, as well as there was that on the first one.
What was the address again?
5131 East Sherrill Parkway.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. There it is, right here. Okay, Chris, any concerns with this one?
Nope, no concerns.
And this is in the same phase of litigation, so to speak, as the one we just addressed.
Correct, yeah. Last year, we had a trial for tax years 2022 and 2023 from June 2nd to June 6th, and then one additional day on July 2nd, I think. And so we're awaiting a decision on that, and we, our hope is that at the very least that whatever determination is made for the 2022 and 2023 cases will kind of follow where the 24
This would kind of
through.
domino effect
Yeah,
into that.
that's the hope.
Do you still work with the Amy from the firm?
Yes,
What is
yep.
the name of that firm again?
It's Amy, Seibel Law Offices, it's just Amy generally.
Amy
She
Seibel, I
works-
couldn't remember her last name.
Yep,
So she's still involved in this process?
yes, yep.
Yes,
As we
you know,
speak, she's
yeah.
working on it
Yeah.
right now.
Yep. Okay, okay, all right, let's keep rolling here, Tracy.
Thank you, Chair. The next one is Riva West LLC, address 5148 East Sherrill Parkway, parcel number 0609-114-2484-2, which includes parcels number 0609-114-3532-2 and 0609-114-3543-2.
Chris, your insight?
Yep, no issues on this one. This is another one of the Avante properties that we've seen before.
Any community questions? Okay, let's keep going, Tracy.
Thank you, Chair. Next one is Turnberry Apartments, address 2611 Gallagher Drive, parcel number 0609-152-4264-2. And again, these last two parcels have a agent authorization form and a waiver request form included.
So Chris, with the last two things that Tracy said, the last two forms in the staple packet and the specific one, basically us seeing this one more time is a step in the process, right?
Yeah, so.
All indications are that these folks want to continue in circuit court, right?
That would, I mean, I think that's reasonable to assume, yeah.
But as part of the process, one more chance to come through our board of review if there happens to be an off-ramp for us to determine this, correct or not?
Yeah, in essence, if they want to go to circuit court, they have to file with the board.
They have to check this box.
Exactly. And so you could choose to accept a waiver or not, but typically it's, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But generally, if a property is already in circuit court, most boards would.
You don't pull it out of it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I just wanted the committee members to be refreshed your memories of that, to just kind of see why we're seeing this again. I think Carol's seen this for about a decade as a planning commission chair and alder. Okay, any questions? Chris, your judgment, this looks good?
Yep.
Okay. That's good. Tracy, we're rolling.
Thank you, Chair. Next one is Vista Apartments LLC, address 5120 East Sherrill Parkway, parcel number 0609-114-2716-2. They do have an agent authorization form and a request for waiver included.
Usually the Sean gentleman who spells his name like me is their agent, right? Authorization, is he part of that again?
He's part of their
Sean Lovell, yeah.
Their firm, yeah. With Avante, I believe typically, at least I've had most of my contact with Don Millis.
Okay.
Sean, I think, is kind of the lead on Hy-Vee.
Okay, thank you. Okay, kind of the same deal here. This is in the same process, Chris, circuit court.
Yep.
Coming through us one more time.
Yep. And no issues that I've got with that.
I just have a question, because it's just kind of interesting how their opinion of assessed value is always a good round number. Mm-hmm. It's always interesting, stands out to me. Okay, any questions? All right, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Next one is Hatchery Hill 3 LLC, address 2981 Cahill, Maine, parcel number 0609-033-4226-1. They do have an agent authorization form and a request for waiver included.
Chris, is this by the Pick and Save, or where the new Great Clips is, which I desperately need to go to?
It's on the opposite side from where, like the Great Dane and all that stuff.
Oh.
It's on the opposite side of the street from there.
So like condos?
Yeah, technically they're apartments. But
Right,
yeah,
right,
but
okay,
yes.
yeah, I'm sorry. Yep, I know exactly where it is. Is it standard practice on page 2 to kind of list all of these descriptions of investments, so to speak?
Yeah, it can be. It's not always, it's not required in
Why do you think it's on this one specifically?
My assumption is it's a lot of money that they put into it, and it's hard, so it's referencing, let's see here, item B on the first page. It says, within the last 10 years, did you change this property, remodel, addition, so on?
Yep.
And so, in some cases, if you've only done a few things, you could pretty easily put that on that line, but in this case, they've done, I don't know how many repairs they've got in there, but.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to know.
Yep.
That makes a ton of sense. All filled out in your judgment, Chris?
Yep.
Madam Clerk, keep rolling.
Thank you, Chair. Next one is Hatchery Hill 3 LLC, address 5550 Caddis Bend, parcel number 0609-033-4191-3. They do have an agent authorization form and a request for waiver included.
Tracy, I'm assuming these folks are pretty professional to work with, and all this stuff comes in a timely manner, right? Okay, they've clearly done this before. Chris, thoughts?
No issues on this one. Similar to the Avante ones we've discussed, Hatchery Hill, the last couple we've reviewed here, and then the few that are upcoming, which I believe should be Franklin Square and Valley View. Those are also in circuit court currently. The tax years are a little bit different, but nevertheless, they're also in circuit court. They're owned by a larger real estate company called Fiduciary Real Estate Development, so they're all wrapped up in that case for a number of tax years, I believe 20, starting in 2023, if I recall.
And is the Hatchery Hill 5550 Caddis Bend form filled out correctly in your opinion?
Yes.
Tracy?
Madam Clerk, I would just note that both of these last two are number one in the commercial. They're separate in the stack, but they're on the number one in commercial, the same.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well said, thank you, good catch. On our form, kind of our overview form, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, that's right, I was trying to find it, thank you.
Just to further clarify, there's, it looks like they used their kind of an internal memorandum for both of those as well. So if you see the duplicate parcel numbers on it, I think that was the intention behind it.
Oh.
They use the same form for both of them.
Oh.
Which I don't think there's a concern with, just to clarify is all.
Good catch, Mark, good catch. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Chris, again, we're good to go, right?
Yep, no concerns from my
Okay,
end.
Tracy, I think the next one is 2921 Fish Hatchery.
Thank you, Chair. Yep, Valley View LLC, 2921 Fish Hatchery Road, parcel number 0609-031-57182. They do have an agent authorization form and a request for waiver included.
Chris, what is actually this property?
This is, it's Valley View Apartments. It's up on the corner of Fish Hatchery, and I believe, is it Post? No, hang on. It is Post Road, or, no, it's not. Is it? Yeah, it is. It is Post Road. Okay, gotta trust myself. Yeah, it's a big apartment complex. I forget exactly how many units are up there. Quite a few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings on the property. Right up on the corner, like I said, of Fish Hatch and Post.
When was the last time you would have had your team or somebody from, quote unquote, the city assessing office kind of walk through something like that or look at that?
Well, we looked at it this year because I believe there was a fire in one of the units out here, I believe. So we did an exterior walk around. It's kind of hard to go through. I don't know that we'd ever go through every one of the units.
Right, you're not going
in
through
there,
all these
but,
4 apartments, but
we try to go through them as regularly as we can. Typically, especially if something's in circuit court. Not specific to this property. There was another larger property that I had gone through last year, just as kind of our regular business practice as we're in circuit court on these things.
Who's doing your commercial this year in your shop?
It's myself and Ian is our deputy city assessor.
Same
He
guy
was
from last
here-
year?
Yep, he was here. He was hired last year.
I think he just started like the day before this committee.
Yeah, pretty much. He started in, I believe it was like late April or maybe early.
So
I don't remember.
Julia's not running the place yet.
Not yet.
I had to give her a shout out.
Soon
She's-
enough.
Okay, all right. Any concerns, questions, Chris?
Nope, not with this one.
All right. Yes, Carol, please.
Sorry, I do have a small question on that one. So in section 4, under the property information, they do state that in the last 10 years, they've done the remodel and addition, but there's nothing listed in the box below to state what those changes totaled. So we would just take that from the attachment to the objection form?
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that that document covers the
Yep.
front not being filled out.
Yep.
Good catch, Carol. All right, Tracy.
Thank you, Chair. Next one is Franklin Square Condominiums LLC, address 2001 Greenway Cross, parcel number 0609-031-2273-0. They do have an agent authorization form and a request for waiver included.
Are all of these in the same circuit court judge, or they get spread around?
I actually don't know.
I mean, with the 18 circuits in Dane County, is there like 2 of them that are focused on property? Do you know that at all,
I think they
Amanda?
just get dispersed out to whoever, but I'm not sure. I can tell you in a second, though, actually.
I'm gonna let Amanda, as our seasoned attorney, jump in here.
There are certain judges who mainly do criminal. There's certain judges who mainly do civil. So I don't remember the breakdown of those, but it
But
would
that's
be
kind
among,
of a judges amongst themselves call. Like, I want to be the criminal person. I do the child cases. I'll do the whatever.
right. It gets divided every so many years.
Okay, all right. I just mechanically was curious how that worked. No big deal, Chris. If you can't find it, don't sweat it.
So they all have, each case has a different judge on it. So.
Interesting. Interesting. Richard, question?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
For Chris. Under section 4, box D, when it asks for appraisals in the last 5 years or whatever, this isn't the only one that's like this, but there was an appraisal done in '22 with a value of $12,170,000, and the purpose of the appraisal, and it up above what's on the assessment roll, and then what they're objecting, what they think it ought to be. Can one assume that this appraisal, what's in 4D, must be a composite of a group of properties?
That's a good question. So Franklin Square.
Are these things depreciating that fast in this time period?
No, so Franklin Square, and I think maybe the other one was Hatchery Hill.
Yes.
So those are 2 separate parcels, and so they filed 2 objection forms, one for each of the parcels. But yes, the appraisal that they're using is a composite value or compiled value for both parcels.
Okay.
Chris, otherwise good to go?
Yep.
Okay, Tracy.
Thank you, Chair. We have one more Franklin Square condominiums. I don't think I did this one, did I? No. This one is 2004 Greenway Cross, parcel number 0609-031-2086-7. They do have an agent authorization form and a request for waiver included.
Tracy, I'm assuming back to my fat-fingered example, under the opinion of assessed value, we're okay with 2,7,93. This is where my predecessor in this chair would earn his bucks. Mike, love him dearly. That's okay, Chris. That's the fat-fingered example that Sean talked about 20 minutes ago.
I don't have any issues with that.
Tracy, you're okay with that? Committee members? I don't know if we really wanted to, anyway. All right, I'm glad I caught that. Richard, others, any thoughts?
Nope.
All right, so do you want this bucket a motion, Tracy, for that, or do you want to do the Hy-Vee one, put them all together?
We can include Hy-Vee.
Okay, so we've gone through items number 1 through 8, and as Amanda said, there's a couple multiple pieces on item number 1 on our overview list there.
And item 7.
Item 7 as well. Okay, we are now on number 9 in our overview sheet. Tracy, go ahead.
Chair, the last one is Hy-Vee Inc., address 2920 Fitchburg Road, parcel number 0609-072-0015-2. They do have a agent authorization form and a request for waiver included.
Chris, how long has this one been around with the city?
There's been kind of a couple iterations of it.
So not as long as the movie theater one.
No, well, I guess I'm not sure. They were in for a number of years, and then I'm not sure if there was a trial or not, but then they went away. I think they didn't file in court for 2023, but then they came back in 2024, and now we're 2024 through now, presumably 2026. We've been dealing with it.
The reason I ask, and I want to get ahead of myself here, but what is the date that opinion of assessed value? That would be what they believe it is right now, right? 9,700,000?
So,
or is that a dated number?
That the appraisal report was dated January 30th of 2025. Now,
But this isn't a number from like 2022 or something, is it?
I think it might be. I
That's
can
why
tell you in a moment. But yes, the intent of the appraisal, I guess it would probably be 2024 would be my assumption, because the first year they filed at this time around was for 2024.
Well, that's a big swing. Wow.
Yeah, and I guess in this case, the issue surrounding it seems to be on whether the purchase price was, market value or not. It's, again, it was Hy-Vee is not the owner in this case. Hy-Vee is a tenant. Hy-Vee used to own the building. They sold it to, I believe it's just a real estate investment trust, for $18,188,057 in 2022. And the appraisal report that they had filed for their expert opinion in the circuit court case came in at $9.7 million. So quite a big difference there.
Does the form look filled out correctly to you?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so we have part of item number 15. We're going to ask the clerk to go through the items again so it's officially recorded, and then we can vote on it. She can help us with the correct wording of the language of the motion. But you have now gone through item 15, review of objection forms filed for the commercial properties with the city of Fitchburg for completeness and notice of intent to file with no objection form filed yet. Is that correct?
Correct.
So we have 9 in front of us. Tracy, you do what you need to do to get it officially in the record, please.
Thank you, Chair. So the following are the commercial properties that you're approving the objection forms for completeness. And I'll just read off the property name. Riva West, Franklin Square Condos, 2001 Greenway Cross, Franklin Square Condos, 2004 Greenway Cross, Valley View, 2921 Fish Hatchery Road, Hatchery Hill 3 LLC, 5550 Caddis Bend, Hatchery Hill 3 LLC, 2981 Cahill, Maine, Osprey Apartments LLC, 5118 Lacey Road, Prima Vista LLC, 5131 East Sherrill Parkway, Vista Apartments LLC, 5120 East Sherrill Parkway, Turnberry Apartments LLC, 2611 Gallagher Drive, Hy-Vee Inc., 2920 Fitchburg Road, and these are completeness of the objection forms.
So moved by Chair Sean Paff.
Second, Knessa.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, discussion.
I'd like to recuse myself from the vote on this one. I use Reinhardt. My company uses Reinhardt for all of our real estate acquisitions we do. So even though I'm only voting on the form as being right, I think the right thing to do is not vote at all or to recuse myself.
Tracy, you have that for the record?
I do. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Richard. Questions, anybody? All we're doing is getting the form so we can be in play here, so to speak. All those in favor of the motion as seconded, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, the motion carries. Number 16, consideration of any subpoena requests.
Can I interrupt for one
Yes,
moment?
please, yes.
So the first residential property owner that gave notice of intent to file has filed his forms.
Oh,
I
excellent.
do have them printed off and available for you to review, and I'll hand those out to you now, okay?
We'll take a 5-minute recess here. Okay, we'll reconvene the Board of Review at 9:35 a.m. after a short recess. Madam Clerk, I think we're jumping back up to item number 15 to review of objection forms filed for completeness and notice of intent to file with no objection form. In front of you, committee members, you have a property, and Tracy will read it into the record here, that has met the requirements under item number 13 of our agenda, 2-hour window with a 48-hour notice. So good for them, and the process does work. So Tracy, what do we have in front of us, and what's this item we need to take care of?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, this property owner did provide a 48-hour notice of intent to file and did have the first 2 hours of this meeting to turn in his objection paperwork, which you have before you now. The address is 5848 Park Hill Circle, parcel number 0609 081 67273. He does have the objection form. He did attach an agent form, which was not required to be filled out because he doesn't have an agent. He does have a request for a waiver form that he did not fill out. He's not requesting a waiver. And then he also has an attachment to the objection form.
Chris, this is the first you've seen this, right?
Yeah, I was just looking through
Well,
it.
take your time then. Let's just take some time here to, this is hot off the press for the public here. So give the committee members a little grace here as we look through this. We're not judging his explanation at all. We're just going through the paperwork to make sure it fits the requirements. If it does, that is a conversation for a different day.
I have a question on that, please.
Please, go ahead.
A lot of times when people come before us, we tell them that it's best to have a certified appraisal or have an appraiser accompany them. Is that something that he can provide later, or is that typically required in this filing?
So he did not,
I believe, Carol, he is coming as a private citizen.
correct.
Yep,
He will do his own research
okay,
and present his materials to us if we deem his paperwork meets the standards of completeness, etc.
thank you.
You're totally.
And it doesn't look like he attached any type of appraisal as a supporting document or an exhibit.
Right,
But Tracy, under Carol's question, this gentleman could come with his own facts and research and stuff like that at day of, and he can present it to us.
Correct. He could bring his exhibits the day of his
Day of, so we would see
valuation
them
hearing.
fresh. So he has up until whenever the meeting is scheduled to prepare his own. He doesn't have to get that to you a week in advance.
That is correct.
thank you.
It's a great question, Carol. It's a great question. Chris, your 90-second look through, how are you of this form?
Good, I think it's filled out complete. I think one thing that I would that initially caught my eye was that there was nothing filled out for section 3 under the basis for estimate or reason for objection, but if you flip through the packet, you'll see towards the end, there's about a page write-up of kind of, you know, both why the property owner believes that the assessment is incorrect and kind of where he's getting to his, you know, basis of assessment now. And as mentioned, he may bring an appraisal later on, but to me, what he's provided is sufficient enough to consider the form at least complete. He could certainly supplement that with additional information later on.
Amanda?
Just a point of clarification, I guess. I note that his signature has a S/typed name. It's the rest of the ones that we looked at today were all a wet signature or handwritten signature. I just wanted to confirm
DocuSign or whatever,
there's no concern or issue with an electronic signature in this way.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with that.
Well, I hear what Chris is saying on section 3, and maybe others who sat in this chair, I'm not there to speak for them, maybe would have raised some concerns on that, but I'm going to give the gentleman the benefit of the doubt since he has a lengthy page in the back explaining what his objections are.
Right.
So I'm comfortable with the paperwork here. I'm pleased that the process worked, and thanks to Ruth and Tracy and her team for staying on the clock here and making sure we get this done, and I don't have to stay here all the way till 10:30 waiting for this paperwork. So I really appreciate it, sir. So Tracy, do you want to read a motion into the record that some of us could submit here based on this property?
Certainly. So this would be a motion to accept the objection form for its completeness for property 5848 Park Hill Circle, parcel number 0609-081-6727-3.
So moved by Poole.
Second by Bloomquist.
Thank you both. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, so we now have our stuff ready for the next phase. Chris, I have a question for you before we move on.
Yeah.
Would have many of these folks come to open book?
I don't think
residentials?
The residential ones, I believe, both did. Yeah.
So they have had that opportunity of taking advantage of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would note, I guess, to that end, one of the things that was, I believe, in Mr. Salinger's information packet was that he came in, I worked with him up until just a few days ago, and we reduced the value. And so now where we're at is really a value that I believe is fair and a value that they believe is fair. So that's a case where I really think the board is...
Okay, so let's talk about that. So let's just say you guys come to a heat of agreement and he decides to withdraw or whatever. I'm not saying he's speaking for him at all by any means. Would that not come to us at the next phase, or would we have to take action since now we've put this on the docket?
I don't, maybe that's a question for Tracy, but I would assume that, when it would come up, we would just note that the property owner has withdrawn
Been
their
resolved.
objection, and then,
I would assume that would be the
take
case.
action on it, right? Well, since, you can, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but
My
I think
question
what
is,
we've done in the
Tracy-
past
Yep.
before too, and this now that I'm thinking about it, we've had instances before where there's been cases out there and we've gotten to an agreed upon value. What we end up doing is we have a what's called the stipulated value agreement, where basically we bring a form to you all saying, here's kind of the parameters of what was done, and then, present that kind of the summary of what happened to the board, and then you could decide to
Right, so
sign
you
off.
guys figure this out, so to speak.
Yeah.
This guy decides to go on a 3-week fishing trip. So we don't have to wait around for 3.5 weeks to try to schedule a meeting with him for him to come here and say, hey, we worked this out with the city. You guys can do that through paperwork.
Generally, yeah.
And
So
then
if-
we have to act on that paperwork, at least acknowledge it.
Yes.
Is that fair?
And then he could withdraw his objection form.
But right now, he is on the docket for us to see him, whatever happens.
Correct. We'll need to schedule a future evaluation hearing for him.
Got it. So we have 2 commercial property, 2 residential, 9 commercial properties. Correct. Okay. Thank you. All right. We are now going to go back to item number 16, consideration of subpoena request. Tracy, we've taken care of that, correct?
We have not.
Okay.
My recommendation would be to postpone
No, we can,
Did you
we
get it?
got them.
Oh.
Oh. Go ahead, Chris.
So, in the past several years, you may recall that for a number of these commercial cases particularly, the board has the ability to subpoena for additional information, and we, in this case, there's another, for commercial properties, we ask them for income and expense statements, which is, profit and loss, which are very helpful. But for properties that are as complex as these are, generally there's some additional information that we seek to at least confirm that we have a fair value on it. So in this case, myself, along with Amy Seibel, our attorney, have prepared some subpoenas very consistent with what we have in the last couple years, where we're seeking kind of additional backup information for some expenses and some additional rental information on some of their other properties, and just kind of general information like that to kind of confirm that our valuation is fair on it, and if it's not, we would like to, bring that to you all to potentially lower it if there's evidence to suggest that. So what I have here I have a subpoena for each of the properties for, I can go down the kind of overview list here for Hatchery Hill 3, Osprey, Vista, Riva West, Turnberry, Franklin Square, Valley View, Vista, and Hy-Vee. I have a number of copies of each. So I can bring
Yeah,
those up
let's
if you'd
just
like.
take a moment and let you pass those out.
Sure.
Thank you for having this, Chris. We don't have to schedule another meeting date for this. I appreciate it. Yeah, we can, Eldon and I, we'll figure it out. Carol and Richard can share, and me and Eldon can. I better take one as the chair here, just so I got it for my files. Thank you. Got it. Thank you, sir. It's all right, bud. All good. I'm good. Carol may need two more. Or do you?
Okay, so then I owe you.
I got all three. I'm good.
So you got all three, you guys have all three now. You guys have all three.
Tracy, you got what you need?
Yep, thank you, Chair.
You betcha. All right, the city assessor is going to walk us through. He has presented to the committee materials regarding consideration of subpoena requests. The clerk has the material as well. So Chris, if you could, under the microphone here, let us know what we're looking at and what action you would potentially need us to take.
Sure. So our request would be to approve the subpoenas as drafted by our outside legal counsel, Amy Seibel, and myself. Again, seeking additional information to verify that, to back up some of the income and expense information that was provided, and also to help us determine whether or not, to make sure our assessment is fair and in line with all of their income and expenses. So the request would be to approve the subpoena request.
And this, Chris, is all standard practice, right?
Yes, we've done this. We've done this the last, at least, I guess this will be my fourth year here, the last 4 years, and I believe it was similar practice when Amy Mercer, who's a former assessor, was here.
Chris,
as well.
second question for you. Is there a finite end to this so we don't have, quote unquote, the book still open, or do they have to meet a certain time frame to get you this materials? How do we, because Trace, you'll say the book's still open, you guys got to come back in September or what? I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
When does that book close? So to speak?
So we've requested a number of, kind of financial information kind of sheets from the property owners. We've requested it to be turned back into the assessor's office by May 29th, I believe it is, at noon.
Top of the second page on the Hy-Vee one, you'll see that date.
Yeah, no later than noon on May 29th, which is a couple weeks from now. So then what would happen likely after that is we would take the week probably after to review to ensure that they are compliant with their subpoenas and to determine whether or not we need to make any adjustment based on that additional information. And then we would request to meet probably, I don't know if it would be that first week of June or maybe the second.
And Chris, that is obviously these requests have different asks. That time frame is enough for these folks to process those asks.
Yes, that's what we believe. In the past, we've usually done about 2 weeks for this level of information.
So they're not going
we're
to be
seeking.
surprised by the time frame.
No, they shouldn't be. I hope not.
Richard, question.
When they give you their profit and loss and their expenses, and you're asking for a balance sheet in this case, how much of this is public record then?
It's all confidential. All income and expense information is confidential pursuant to, I believe it's statute 7047, subsection 7, subsection AF, I believe it is. But yes, it's all confidential. And if they were to elect to make it, to bring it into the public record at a hearing, that's certainly their choice, but it's not privy to anybody else's eyes other than ours. Not even Tracy's.
So
Basically, I look at it and that's it.
Our action as a committee, since they're coming back through us, which they need to even though they're in circuit court, is affirming Chris and Attorney Seibel's request to ask for more information to keep this docket moving forward.
Correct.
So I would make a motion. Tracy, can we put all three together? Or does it got to be individuals?
Sure, are there just 3 properties, or is it all 11?
It's
properties?
all 9, the
all
commercial, the 9 commercial ones.
All right, Tracy, why don't you read whatever you need to in the record, and I'll make that motion.
So some of these commercial ones have separate addresses, so I'm showing 11 commercial total. Who is not included?
1, 2, oh, are you counting the multiple parcels?
Correct.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So if I read
13.
all
I would
11
say
into the record,
I'm counting 13 in terms of parcels. My recommendation would be to read the parcels into the address or into the record, if that's sufficient. The ones on if you look on like your summary sheet, there's in that parcel column, I would think it would be sufficient to just read those, if you're good with that.
otherwise I can read, the objection forms that we just approved.
That's fine too. Either or is fine with me.
Is Hy-Vee included in the subpoena?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Which section are you counting? If you count the up above the tax parcel and the address, in the 2 section, it's got 1, but then are you counting what's in item number 5 to get to your 13?
I'm not sure. So I'm looking at this summary sheet and then just counting all the parcel numbers in that parcel column, in the commercial
So
section.
you're not trying to cross-reference to the subpoena sheet?
Oh, I see. You can just read them off the subpoenas. The reason, to give some context, the reason why this is jumbled is because technically a couple of these parcels are assessed together. So for example, Riva West, there are 3 parcels listed on the summary sheet. However, there are, and then there's
1
3.
on the objection form.
There's 1 on the objection form, so.
I've got it. I've got the list. I'll just read off all 13.
Yeah.
So
Technically, it would be sufficient if you just read the main parcel for Riva West, but I think since it's there, it doesn't hurt to add it in.
okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. So we have Riva West, parcel 0609-114-2484-2, which includes 0609-114-3532-2 and 0609-114-3543-2. We have Franklin Square condos, parcel number 0609-031-2273-0, including parcel number 0609-031-2086-7. Valley View Apartments, parcel number 0609-031 5718-2, Hatchery Hill 3 LLC, parcel 0609-033-4191-3, including parcel 0609-033-4226-1, Osprey Apartments, parcel number 0609-114-4282-2, Prima Vista LLC, parcel number 0609-114-3708-2, Vista Apartments LLC, parcel number 0609-114-2716-2, Turnberry Apartments LLC, parcel number 0609-152-4264-2, and Hy-Vee Inc., parcel number 0609-072-0015-2. Did I miss anything?
I think you got them.
Okay.
Request as presented by assessor sites for the commercial properties that were read by Clerk Oldenburg. That's my motion.
Fairchild second.
Fairchild second. Are there any questions? Madam Clerk, I'm able to sign those today if this is approved, correct?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Chair, I will recuse myself from these as well.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries. Thank you. Item number 17, consideration request for waiver at the Board of Review hearing allowing the property owner to appeal directly to Circuit Court. Are we dealing with any of that today?
No, Chair, my recommendation would be to postpone this to a future meeting.
Okay. Proceed to hear, deliberate, and determine residential only objections, if any, and if proper notice waivers given unless scheduled for a future date. Madam Clerk, what was the answer to that?
Can we go back and actually do the motion
Oh,
to
sure.
postpone?
Yes. Andrew, you want to do what Tracy's asking us to do? If you could work with her, I'd appreciate it.
I move that we postpone the consideration of requests of waiver until a future date.
Second, Knessa.
Thank you both. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Great. Thank you, Tracy, for catching that. All right, number 18. Proceed to hear, deliberate residential objections, if any, and if proper notice waiver given, unless scheduled for a future date. What would need for action on that?
So we have nothing to hear today. We don't have any hearing evaluations scheduled for today. So we would want to pick a date that we could hear the next, or the two residential objection forms that you have in front of you.
So we have number 19. Now we're at number 19. Considering a date. Is that correct, Tracy?
I think we would want to do this in twofold. We'd want to look at dates for the residential valuation hearings and possibly coincide that with the subpoena request compliance review, and then possibly even the request for waivers as one future meeting if possible, or
You could do it kind of two ways if you want. So typically what we've done in the past is hear the residential cases when it's convenient for you all. And then since the subpoena requests are due kind of later this month, we would want to meet sometime in that first or second week of June generally to follow up and determine whether. So what we would want to do is take up the subpoena requests and possibly then act on the waivers at the same
Oh, so
meeting.
it's only one meeting date.
Could be. Up to you guys, I guess. If you want to hear the residential cases sooner rather than later, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I think we should.
And if I could add,
Please,
one
please.
of the residential property owners is asking if Monday, May 18th would be an available time to meet. That sounds like it may,
That's one of the two that
it
we
may
just.
allow his property appraiser to be present at that meeting.
Sure,
So
let me
we
look at
could
the calendar. So,
Possibly do the two residentials on Monday, May 18th, or
boy, that'd be fantastic. But I want to make sure.
Thursday. I'm looking to see what rooms are available. So it looks like this room is available Monday, May 18th. It's available, let's see, Thursday, May 21st.
Thursday, May 21st might be a little tough for me. May 18th, I know first thing in the morning, I have an appointment, but I could try to change that. Or we could do,
May
I guess
19th, it's available.
let me just throw this out there to the group. A little weird here, I know, but what would like Monday sometime morning up until noon work for this group?
Works for me.
Works for me.
Monday, the 18th?
Yeah, I don't know if I can do right away at 8:30, but I don't want to slow anybody down and make it weird, but 9:30 work, 10 o'clock, or is that too much middle of the day?
And I would still have time to get the 48-hour notice to appear.
Tracy, why don't you shoot out there that kind of 10 to noon window on Monday, the 18th, to the two residential folks? Does that work for you guys? And then,
Yep.
and then Chris can take us to Pizza Ranch and we can celebrate afterwards. We're done, right? Lunch.
So we'll have one more, we'll have that commercial one still to do, but.
Yeah, that's fine.
But-
Do we need to schedule that commercial one now? Or, I know you're waiting for the subpoenas, which is good. So we're looking at, back to your original point, first week in June.
Yeah, I mean, I would be comfortable scheduling that, I would think. I mean, we'll get the information, like I said, it's due on the 29th. The only date I'm unavailable that first week is Thursday the 4th, but
That's the only day it doesn't work for you.
yeah, I would guess I should be able to have an answer. Whether
Okay, I'm going to throw it out here. Amanda, what do you got downtown? What do you got cooking? I got brewer tickets on Monday the 1st, so I don't want to go too late. Sorry. Monday, 10 a.m. on the 1st, or even earlier, 8:30 on the 1st, Chris. Mondays, you need to work to get kind of set up after the weekend?
Yeah, my only issue with that is I don't know that would be wholly enough time for me to.
Oh, of course.
To review everything, because I'm going to be gone that weekend.
That's fine. No, we don't want to jam you up.
But I'm sure I could make the second or the third work if either of those would be good.
The second, unfortunately, I'm unavailable, but the third looks like,
Third, I have,
Or we could also, look out to that next week too. It's not, mission critical.
I know it's a Friday, but it's not totally summer yet, but I don't want Fridays. Let's not do Friday. I don't want to make you guys do Friday. Amanda, what do you got cooking that week? If we give Chris, like, the first, he's got to do the office work here to go through all the paperwork. Does,
What date are you looking at, Sean?
would Tuesday the 9th work, say 8:30 a.m.?
As a general rule, I'm not available on Tuesday.
Tuesdays
or
don't work for you?
Thursday.
I could do Monday morning, the 8th at 8:30 a.m.
That works for me.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Tracy, what do you got in
is
this room?
available. Yep. room's
Amanda, you
available.
good?
How long do we think we'd be that day?
Probably 8:30 to 11.
It should, if the subpoenas are compliant, it would, and we don't have anything to change, it would be very quick. I would guess, I don't know, an hour maybe.
Okay.
If they're all good. Now, the issue would be if there was no compliance, then we may have an issue there.
I assume with professional law firms, they're going to know they're going to have to comply here. You would assume.
That would be my hope. Most of what we're asking for is not particularly different than what we've asked for in years prior, and it's not,
Yeah.
it's not super comprehensive.
Amanda,
so-
if you'd have to scoot by 9:30, by all means you can.
Okay, yeah, I can be available from 8:30 to 9.
Andrew, you good, bud? 8:30, Monday the 8th?
That is, yeah, that works.
Okay, so Tracy will send around an Outlook request, hopefully. We get it on our calendar soon. Tracy, those dates are again, the first one we came up was Monday the 18th at 10 a.m.
Correct, and that's to hear the two residential properties.
And the other one was Monday the 8th of June at 8:30 a.m.
Correct, and that's to go over the subpoena request compliance and request for waivers.
Chris, 8:30 on a Monday, jamming you up too much, or can you turn it around? And you think these folks can get there 8:30 on a Monday? Not that people don't go to work, but
For the residential ones?
for the,
We're good for both of them. We're pretty much ready to go.
okay. So there it is.
What time on Monday, the 18th?
10, sir. Again, we have 7 members of the committee. It takes 4 for a quorum. That's why I have alternates. You guys are great members. You show up, so thank you. But if some of you can't make it, that's okay. Chris and Tracy, now that we have those dates and things go well, when would this committee conclude its work for the year? After that, or how would that work? Or what is the calendar like after we have these 2 meetings?
You should be able to sign a die on the 8th, June
Wow.
8th.
No Labor Day possible, great August days.
Not this year, hopefully.
That's Chris's every other year surprise, right? Okay. Any other questions before this body? Tracy, any other thoughts from you as we get ready to adjourn? Anybody who was appointed, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say.
Not adjourn.
I hate to.
Whatever the
rain on
wording is.
parade, But
Yeah.
the first meeting, we have to be in session for 2 hours, so
Hang
Yeah,
out for a
that's
half
true.
hour.
stuck here for another
Okay,
half
so
hour.
we'll keep the cameras on, right? Or can we could shut?
That I don't know.
Do we need to go back and put dates in for 17?
17, consideration of request for waiver of the Board of Review hearing allowing the property owner to appeal directly to circuit court.
That would be on the June 8th meeting, along with the subpoena request compliance. They would be kind of hand in hand.
Some of you need to leave because Chris is right. As you guys know from the training, we have to stay here for 2 hours, so that's till 10:30. If somebody has to leave now, as long as 4 of us are here, we have a quorum.
And I should say for the record, the waiver requests are approved by the board. If you choose that you want to have a valuation hearing for them, then we would schedule a future date after that
What does that mean, evaluation hearing?
for the commercial properties that are requesting waivers.
Let's see where we're at on June 8th. I'm assuming that we're going to continue down circuit court. We want you guys to sign off on that.
That would be my recommendation generally. It's, when something's already in circuit court, it's regardless of any action the board may take, it's likely still to end up there. So that's been what the practice has been in the past.
Okay, we're just going to sit informal for 20 minutes here. Microphones are off, but Jeremy, you can keep the camera on if you so choose, if we need to.
Or you could recess for a little while if you'd like.
Okay, we'll come into a recess for 10 minutes.
Makes no difference to me, sure.
So we're going to reconvene just so that
You can leave it with the packet. You can. The
Okay,
committee is
Taylor.
reconvened to the Board of Review on Thursday, May 14th. Under state statutes, the committee hearing needs to go at least 2 hours. So we are waiting till the hour of 10:30 to arrive to adjourn this meeting. But in today's meeting, the Board of Review has acted on objection forms for assessed real property, both residential and commercial properties in the city of Fitchburg, working with the city's assessor, Chris Leitz. And we have scheduled future meetings. The next one will be Monday, May 18th at 10 a.m., pending on calendars of those residential property owners, and then also on Monday, June 8th at 8:30 a.m., pending on the calendars of the commercial properties. Madam Clerk, is there any other items that we need to do besides let the clock tick a little bit here?
Thank you, Chair. No, we've done all the housekeeping items for the first 2 hours that are required for the board to meet. If anybody wants to look through the rolls and look at their own property or their neighbor's property, now's a good time to do that as well.
Okay.
Tracy, I have a question for you. I think in past years, we've left our packets on our tabletops, and you have saved them for us for the next meetings to
That's correct. I'll
not kill
collect them
another
for
tree.
you. Yes. Thank you for asking.
Yep.
Well, the hour of 10:30 is here. We'll reconvene the committee just for us to, we are not adjourning the committee. Madam Clerk, what is the language you want to do till our next meeting on Monday, May 18th at 10 a.m.? We are postponing, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Thank you, Chair. So it is now 10:30. We have met the 2-hour requirement for anybody that had given 48-hour notice and had not filed an objection to turn in their paperwork, and the requirement for anybody that would come in to file paperwork and show just cause why they did not meet the 48-hour requirement. So with that, you could make a motion to suspend the meeting to the future date of Monday, May 18th at 10 a.m.
Motion by,
So I would, I'm sorry, can you say that last part again?
Suspend the meeting to the future date
Okay.
of Monday, May 18th at 10.
Okay, due to us fulfilling our statutory obligation to have a 2-hour meeting today, I move that we suspend until Monday, 5/18 at 10 a.m., which is our tentative next scheduled meeting.
Fairchild, second.
second by Fairchild. All those in favor of what did we say, postpone? Suspend the meeting until Monday, May 18th at 10 a.m. Signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We are postponed until Monday, May 18th at 10 a.m. Thank you.